In today's video, we'll showcase the New York premiere of the romantic comedy movie, The Idea of You. The movie is directed by Michael Showalter and starring Anne Hathaway, Nicholas Galitzine, Ella Rubin, Annie Mumolo, Reed Scott, Perry Matfeld, Jordan Aaron Hall, Matilda Giannopoulos, Meg Millage, Raymond Cham Jr., Jaden Anthony, Victor White, and Dakota Adan. Make sure to watch the video to the end for the exclusive red carpet interviews with the cast and crew of the movie.
I was invited in by Gabrielle Union and Kathy Schulman, and I was just over there taking a photo with our Amazon executives led by Jen Salke, and it was just, I would just feel what happens when women reach out to each other, and when, and of course Michael Showalter, our director, I don't want to leave men out, but especially when women say, you know what, your story matters to me, and then you hear that in return, you're able to do tremendous things, more than you ever thought possible. And so it was important to me to have a voice in that, because even though it's just mine, my perspective matters to me. Solène Marchand, my character, she's really content in her life. She's really fulfilled by her work. She's an amazing daughter. She loves being a mom. She's a wonderful friend. And yeah, like, love would be nice, but it doesn't feel like it's the most essential. It doesn't feel like something essential is missing in her life. So she wasn't expecting what happens next, which is she falls in love with someone who happens to be probably the most famous pop star in a boy band in the world. I just want to, just last thing, the early part of my career I made a lot of feel-good movies, and we said this was a feel-everything movie.
When I read the book, I was captivated by the notion that I was still bumping against the notion that there is a double standard between men and women, like where the men can be older and the women can be younger, but the women can't be older with a younger man. And I thought, we've really got to do this again and again and again until this stops being such a social problem. And I really love this story, and I love that the character that Anne Hathaway plays, that she would be choosing between different kinds of happiness, not between men, which I thought was kind of fun. You know, I think it was really fun to build a boy band. I had never done something like that before, and to really have the challenge to convince people that they could be the biggest band in the world, and to go through the process of, you know, the music writing and the choreography and all of that. That was a real challenge, and I just loved shooting in Atlanta, and the whole process was really good. This was a great cast, a great crew, and we really loved working together. It was a real communal effort.
My character's Izzy. She's Solène's daughter, and she's just this very independent, sort of spunky, smart, loving 16, 17-year-old. And I think it's so funny why I wanted to sign. It's like, why would I wanted to sign on for every single reason. For Michael Showalter, who's one of my comedy heroes growing up, to get to work with Annie, such an honor. Me and everybody else loved her work forever, and I respect her so much as a person and an actor, so I think it was just like for them to let me do it was a real dream. On the very first day we shot, Annie and I sang a song in the car, and we just kind of like rocked out, and it was really surreal and fun, and she loosened me up in a great way, so yeah.
I was the first one in. My girlfriend Robin Lee, who is the author of The Idea of You, the one that started it all, we've been like best friends for a billion years. She played one of my sisters in Deliver Us from Eva 20 some odd years ago, and we bonded over our love of boy bands. She was heavy, like fan club type of thing with New Kids on the Block. I was all in on New Edition, and that's how we bonded. So we've been loving boy bands for a lot longer than the movie. So when she wrote this book, and you know, we were able to read early drafts and whatnot and give notes, I was like, I want to produce this. This is a movie. And she was like, I'm gonna trust you. I think you can do it. So we were all through the audition process. They had to sing, dance, act, the whole thing. So the audition process alone was hard. You have to put together a whole boy band, and it has to be very realistic. So that alone was a challenge, but we got the best. It's I think they did a great job. I think they have music out. No, they do have music out, that you can stream because they're that good. Hope, because I think there's a lot of us that are just hopeless. That even when you're married, sometimes as you get older, you just kind of become a mom or a wife or an employee or the lady on the street, and you kind of feel like you are becoming invisible, like you're disappearing as you age. And I hope people feel seen. You know, they have the hope that you are seen, and there's plenty of people out there that will see you. Doesn't matter what shape they come in and age, perhaps, as adults. But yeah, there is hope, and that, you know, people do see us.
I was really excited to sign on to this project because, one, Anne is just like a masterclass in acting, and I knew that watching her and being around her would really help me as an actor and like learn how to really learn from someone like her. And also the movie itself is about just love, and I thought that was really, really cool. And going to Coachella, she takes me to Coachella in the movie. I play Zeke. Zeke is her daughter's best friend in the movie, and I just had a really great time working on the set with her and working on the set with everyone. So that's why I was excited to do the project. Yes, I am a big fan of August Moon. Who isn't? Like, I'm just playing. But some of my favorite songs from the movie are, I think, Guard Down. I love Guard Down. They performed that at Coachella when Solène takes the kids to go and see Coachella, to go see the boys. My favorite memory on set was actually my birthday party. We had all went out to karaoke, and we all went and we all sang songs, sang like Whitney Houston and sang like all these songs, and it was so much fun to be around everyone and to just sing and have fun. So I sang I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston, which, like, come on, iconic song. And actually, Nick was sick that day, so he didn't sing at the specific night that we all sang together, but he sang in spirit.
I think that it was so much about the character for me. I also am a single mom in Silver Lake and 40-ish, so seeing a woman that had such a full life get to have this very wish fulfillment story was something that felt really undeniable for me. I mean, it felt so natural and authentic, and I think that Anne had such, a clear idea of who Hayes was, as well as Solène, and so when Nick walked into the room, Hayes appeared, and it was natural from then. No one had to do anything to make that chemistry. It was just there. I think that I hope people take away watching movies about 40-year-old moms going through life and having coming-of-age stories is something that we should see more of. It's really exciting to watch someone who knows who they are go on this journey.
I play Georgia in The Idea of You, and she's super fun. It's a super fun movie, and I really wanted to do this because I knew I love Michael Showalter, and just like I thought it was a super like collaborative and like just really fun set. Not fun, but high. Like everyone was just excited to be there. I was super excited to be there. My favorite memory on set would definitely have to be the Coachella scene. It was super fun. They built a whole set, and it was just insane.
I'm just fascinated by these characters. I'm just so intrigued by these characters and this world, and of course the opportunity to work with Anne and Nick. We had such a great time making this movie. We worked hard, but we really had a great time. It was a great experience. I was very into New Edition.
Okay.
Candy Girl, oh my world. That was kind of my era.
I feel like it's a childhood fantasy of any young man to be part of a boy band, but I think it helps when there was an amazing script, and Michael Showalter and Anne Hathaway were attached to the project, and I knew immediately that it was a really interesting take on sort of the rom-com genre, and so it was kind of a no-brainer for me. It was crazy. I mean, it was a lot of fun, but I certainly felt out of my depth to begin with, and it didn't half help that I had 4 amazing professional dancers as my other bandmates, and so I just told them to try and not make me look terrible. But Danny spent lots of hours really trying to get me into my body and feel very grounded in it, so I'm very appreciative of her. It's such a hard job, I think, to be able to command an audience. Stamina to be able to do it. We shot these scenes at Coachella for hours and hours into the morning in Atlanta, and so I have a huge amount of respect. I'd like to think it's because there's a genuine friendship between Annie and I, and she was very open to me and made herself very accessible to me, which I really appreciated. And we had this amazing chemistry test, so by day one we kind of already felt a little bit bonded anyway. She's a wonderful person and obviously a wonderful actor as well.
It was really fun to be able to play Anne's ex-husband's new, very annoying girlfriend. I love, it was fun to be the villain, kind of, and obviously just getting to work with her is like a dream, so. It was actually really cool to see them filming those scenes on the stage, like at Coachella, and I mean, I fell in love with all of them, so I'm sure every girl's gonna fall in love with them like I did. I think it was really just fun to like get dressed up, and I've actually never gotten to go to Coachella myself, so this was the closest I ever got, was getting to dress up to go. So I do love that we're like painting women in a little bit, like I love the idea that Anne is doing us, I think, all a big favor by like embracing the fact that she can still be the like lead it girl, even though she's not 22 anymore. Like I'm very thankful for that, even for me in my own career. So I think a lot of women are going to appreciate, like, she's just so beautiful and it's just so classy, and like she gets the guy and he's obsessed with her, and it's like, I don't know, it makes you feel good. It makes, especially women.
I'm buzzing, you know, it's a project that we worked on over a year ago, and now releasing it to the world is very exciting. We worked really hard, had a lot of fun, and now the world gets to have fun with us, you know. I wanted to sign on because I needed a job. And then on top of that, it's Anne Hathaway, 𝗗𝗟𝗏𝗏. You know, there's not too many red flags. It's kind of like a no-brainer. I play Oliver 𝗗𝗏𝗏𝗏. He's a part of August Moon, and he kind of throws a wrench into their party. I was stuck in a room listening to it all the time, so it was kind of like my own score in life for a few months. And yeah, the music is amazing. I think the fans are loving it as well, which is awesome. And now they get to see some performances with it.
I signed on for not a bunch of reasons, really, but I mean, Michael Showalter, Anne Hathaway, and a fantastic script. And that's kind of all the convincing I needed. My character plays Annie's ex-husband, who sort of plays the major obstacle between her and her new love interest, Nick Galitzine. He's a hypocritical guy, to say the least. I seem to be carving out a nice little niche playing these kind of guys, but it's a lot of fun, and I take these roles really seriously, and I love how Michael really gave us all the opportunity to just find an honesty to all of our characters and let them be real flesh and blood people, not just caricatures on a page, and that's all you can really hope for. I hope they realize that the rom-com is really back, and I think it's a genre that has been sorely missed, and I think it's going to lead to a lot of opportunities for a lot of really amazing artists and a lot of talent to play in this genre space. And I hope it's just fun. I mean, this is the reaction that this movie got at South by was just, it was overwhelming. I mean, this is the kind of movie that you want to watch with friends, and that's what I'm hoping people will do. I think they had gotten almost sort of stamped out by like a machine at a certain point. We were sort of, coming up with rom-coms based on song titles. So it's like, oh, we got the song, we got the title, we might as well make a movie around it. And I think this movie sort of does the opposite. It goes back to more of like the Nora Ephron days, which is come up with very compelling story, really compelling, very honest, authentic characters, and let the audience just go on the ride. And that's what this movie does.
I was inspired by a bunch of different things. I think it was the idea of turning 40 in Hollywood. I'm an actress and I've been doing it for a while, and seeing all my kind of the opportunities diminish, and the idea that Hollywood thinks that women over a certain age lose their value and their desirability, and wanting to rail against that, and coming up with this idea of a woman who was kind of like taking, this opportunity to like explore her sexuality and redefine herself. And so it's all kind of a love story, this sexual awakening with this much younger guy who happens to be in a boy band and who is incredibly famous. And so I wanted to kind of like show that, and that was it. It's always very interesting. It's a little surreal. That's like my word for the month. I think everything happening is kind of crazy right now, and it's just, I think it's magical. I think when you sit down, you're writing alone in your home or Starbucks or whatever, and it's just you and your laptop, and you're imagining these characters and this story and this location and this like intense love, and you don't ever imagine it's going to be something like this. Like it's kind of incredible to see these actors give voice to these characters, and it's surreal.
I just love rom-coms. Like my whole career, a lot of my biggest songs have been inspired by rom-coms, so it's amazing to be a part of one. The love story was really beautiful, and Hayes Campbell's journey in the movie was something that I've been close to in my career a few times. So there was a lot of inspiration there, and it took about like 4 or 5 months to come up with the songs. So yeah. Nick is amazing. Nick is such a multi-talent. It was such a pleasure to record him and write for his voice.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and comment on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to be notified when new videos are released.